Well, yeah, those are awesome.
I'm in love with you, baby, like a monster truck. I'm in love with you, honey, and all your stuff. And with the steel, yes, sister, so I know it's real. Let me do as I please, yes, whatever I feel. Heavy soul, broken bone, I've got no control. Bring the steel, so I know it's real. You come on in. Oh yeah, like a monster truck. I'm in love with you, baby, like a monster truck. I'm in love with you, honey, and all your stuff. And with the steel, yes, sister, so I know it's real. Do as you please, oh yeah, whatever you feel. Heavy soul, broken bone, I've got no control. Bring the steel, so I know it's real. You come on in.
We're live.
Hello, folks.
Hey, hey, hey.
Let me get off my phone.
Hello, boys and girls, millions in attendance. Coach Christian Carvey, how the hell are you?
After the football game Sunday, I'm feeling great.
Carvey's still high from it.
Oh, I'm telling you,
I am too.
I'm living my best life.
I am too. Kristen, you high? I didn't think you
I
would
think
be.
Pat's high. Are you high?
You think Dak Prescott's going to get greater than $30 million now?
You know, it's
Or should that dumbass should have signed that contract when it was offered?
Well, so the problem that I have with Dak though is we're just gonna throw this out here. Please hold. Still the number 4 quarterback.
We're live.
In the
You
NFL,
can't
so
balls live.
Still the number 4 quarterback in the NFL right now after week 5. So,
In what?
And what?
passing yards.
Interceptions.
Oh.
He's not even the number 1 for interceptions.
He's number 1 for interceptions.
No, he's not.
Oh, who's number 1 for
I
interceptions?
don't keep track of that one. I keep
It's
track
too
of so many
negative.
things.
Well, I know we got an AFC Defensive Player of the
The
week this week.
Yes.
And Justin Houston. Number
Houston.
99, my guy.
Let's run off that stat line real quick for
Yes,
Justin.
please do.
You and your stats.
See if I can find it.
Damn
This
coach.
is fun.
Coaching stats.
It's on.
That's what we're going
Is
to
it?
Let's do the weekly coaching stats.
Well, there it is. 3 tackles, or 3 solo tackles, 1 assisted, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. Wow. Yeah, that's a pretty good line for a defensive end,
Yes.
especially a guy that only plays on 3rd down.
Well, he plays a little more than 30.
Yeah, he's in obvious pass situations.
What are you doing?
He's
Nothing.
He's
Put your
chasing
hands to
gnats again.
yourself.
That's one hold your hand.
Pervert.
Shh, don't tell
We got a dead body somewhere here in the studio.
He's
I think.
having a day, I'm telling you.
I'm excited. I'm sorry. How's everybody been doing?
Busier than a 2-headed rattlesnake this
Yeah,
week.
that's true.
I tell you what. It's good stuff, though. I ain't going to complain.
No.
We got to spend a special shout out to one of D-Line's very own, Jason Doherty.
He has some new parts today. Yeah.
He got some new parts.
He got some new parts.
He's feeling a little intoxicated from the pain medicine, and I hope you save enough to share. Hint, hint.
So whenever he moves now, is it gonna go?
Jason, you'll have to give us an update on that, buddy.
Jason Doherty, the $6,000 man.
Able to get off the couch and go to the refrigerator in a single bound.
Oh, man.
Not today, though.
No, yeah, you gotta recover. But anyways, we thinking about you, Duff.
Yes.
Plenty
Yeah.
of prayers, good vibes sent your way, man. Hope you get better soon.
Sorry it was late. 'Cause I know you was patiently waiting.
I told him we were doing it just to annoy him
Yeah, I
because we
know.
knew he's sitting there like, where are they?
Hey, come on, guys. I have nothing else to do.
Anyways,
Well, you got some other good news on another one of
Oh,
our...
are
yes.
you pregnant?
No, God. No, but Prego Party is apparently having a baby tomorrow.
Yes.
How do you plan on? Let's do it
Lindsay's
tomorrow.
going-
I ain't got nothing going on from
Hey,
noon to
at
1.
5:30 in the morning, they're going in to have them a baby.
Stella was an appointment.
So
It happens.
congratulations in advance to
Congratulations.
the Williams family.
The
Yeah,
last night of
congratulations.
sleep that you're going to get for the next 22 years, friend.
And if you name the baby after me, I'll give you a special shout out on the show.
He's got a name. His name is Liam.
Yes.
They can change it.
They're not-
It's not on the certificate yet. Name your child Big P, and we'll give you a special shout out on the show.
We're going to do it
She was
anyway.
calling everybody's name. She like, Big P? Here.
You do that to your kid, I'm hunting you down.
I told her I want to name my kid Gotham.
Oh, there's so much going
Wow,
on.
you just
Where do
got
you guys
really
want to
weird.
start? You guys want to start with that awesome victory the Colts had this
Yeah.
I
week?
feel like
Yes.
that's where
Go over
everybody
that
wants
game.
to start, yeah.
I just
All
want to replay everything in my head.
Now, one thing that's upset me, and I seen it coming before the game was even over, that the world was going to talk about the only reason the Colts won this game was because the injuries
So-and-so was
Kansas City had. They ain't taking into account the injuries and missing players that we had.
Well, I was thinking.
Just Kansas City.
Yeah.
They're not giving us our credit. The only one giving us credit is Pat McAfee.
Name it off. Had Darius Leonard out with a concussion.
Concussion protocol. Which
had-
he's passed. He will
Yeah.
be back next game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to report that.
Malik Hooker out with a whatever
A knee
knee.
or an
T-
appointment.
yeah,
He is a hooker.
T.Y. Hilton playing injured with a quad.
Yeah, which he was, targeted 3 times or something?
Yeah.
Very ineffective. Might as well just let him rest up again.
Yeah. But I mean, at least he was there. And
He was there.
It makes the defense honest.
Yeah. Anthony Walker was out.
Yeah, Anthony Walker. And then
Marlon Mack playing with a bum ankle.
that
You couldn't tell, though.
ran
No. Oh, good Lord.
over Kansas
How many
City.
yards did he end up with? Like 130 something?
132.
29 carries for 132 yards, averaging 4.6 per carry.
And
That's
compared to
pretty
the number
damn
one
good.
Rusher on the Kansas City Chiefs, all of 23 yards.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I mean, I think
We held the
keys-
Chiefs
the
to
keys the
23
game-
yards.
We talked about this.
Oh, that was
on
their
the last
their
show.
leader, their leading rusher, who got 23 yards last week.
What was their total yards?
36. Yeah.
And how many rookies we have out there too?
Give me a moment.
How many rookies we
Okay,
have out
smoke a
there?
How
cigarette.
many rookies were out there? I don't
Oh
know.
shoot! I mean, well, Okereke looked fantastic.
I like Okereke.
He was all over the field. He didn't show it on the stat line. I mean, he only had 3 tackles, but it seemed like he was everywhere.
Yes.
The
Now, I know you guys remember the Raider game, and I made mention that they were over pursuing. They weren't doing their gap rules. They weren't containing.
Yes.
They did not do that against Kansas City. Did you notice that the
yes.
difference between
Yes.
the Oakland game and the Kansas City game?
Yes.
And, everybody was mad. Oh, it was Jacoby's fault. He threw that interception. No, it was a team loss. I mean, and on defense, when you got your entire defense going this way, a smart offensive coordinator is going to say, all right, let's whip it back that way.
Yeah.
And they did multiple times. But in the Kansas City game, they got it fixed.
Yeah.
The problems we had against the Oakland was total self-destruction. It was a total team loss.
Yeah.
And people are still trying to blame Jacoby on that.
I don't blame Jacoby.
Now, it didn't help he threw the interception. No,
but
it wasn't the
no,
game.
That wasn't the game.
No, it wasn't the game at all.
Well, and there's certain players when you come into Arrowhead Stadium, you're gonna have to deal with Patrick Mahomes.
My
And
guy.
he's
I've been accused of having a love fest with Patrick.
well, you do.
Well, how can you not? I
Well,
mean, he's an
but-
incredibly talented
He
human
is.
being.
Hey, he's not a Colt, but he is fun to watch.
I tell you
He
what,
is-
though, he took a beating.
he did.
He did take a beating.
He did, and I'm not ashamed of it. Our Colts players punched him in the mouth, and
Yeah.
I think, Coach, you made a post about the Colts are starting to play smash mouth football, and I absolutely love it.
A little bit.
Yes. So
I absolutely love that.
So I got a question. Do you think this game meant more to them than any other game since
No.
they lost to them last year?
No,
Well, I tell you what, so far this season,
if they're a smart championship team, no.
I think it's the biggest game of the year. Mm-hmm. But it's just one win.
I mean, I know it's one win, but do you think they had it circled on their calendar like?
Well, judging by the way they played against Oakland, it's possible.
Yeah, because I know this game meant a lot to Justin Houston. I think that was a statement. I think that was a statement. If you watch him on the mic,
Oh, he played a little woolly.
yeah,
And if I don't know if you've seen any of the video of the pregame speech that he gave.
oh yes,
Yeah, he was ready to get out there and get after
yeah.
somebody.
He was. If you listen to him, hear what he said. Yeah, he was fired up. He's like,
Like a quarterback throwing an interception, you have to have very short memory in this league. Move on to the next play. Move on to the next game.
Yeah.
You're going to celebrate that night, and then you start preparing for the next game.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, if there was one or two players holding it personal from the defeat last year in the playoffs, I can see it, sure. But
It's good for added motivation.
Yeah,
dude.
as a team and as a thought process for your team, I don't see it. Especially the way Coach Reich is, you know,
Right.
the 0-1.
Well, I tell you what,
mentality,
it's
or
one
the
of those
1-0.
things. I think good coaches use that stuff to their advantage, and I'm sure he probably, like at the beginning of the week last week, he probably during film session pulled out film from last year's playoff loss, and was just real quietly explaining what happened and how this happened and that happened and whatever, and then just moved on to the next thing and let it breathe a little bit.
Like a good
Let
wine.
it soak in, yeah.
Like a good wine.
Let it soak in. And you know the players that were there for that game, yeah, they probably took it a little personal this week.
I can see him
this
taking
week.
that a little person, but to stay focused and manifest all your energy of what happened last year.
No, you can't do
I
that.
don't think that's a championship caliber team if that's your thought process.
No,
yeah.
you can't waste a lot of time with that.
You can't. I mean, even a bad play, a loss, you can't. Even the Raider loss, it was horrible loss. The team played like shit, but you can't think about it no more. You know,
No, it's over.
learn from it, move
Go
on,
on.
and they definitely did that.
Yes.
and it showed in the Kansas City game. Super stoked.
So I saw something on internet. They said the biggest disappointed player on the team so far is Paris Campbell.
I saw that too.
Do you agree with that? So far, they said Paris Campbell's the biggest disappointment.
No, I don't.
Now, I've got one that's a bigger disappointment than Paris Campbell.
Right
off the bat.
now, it's Ebron because he's not.
I got a bigger one than that.
Who?
Andrew Luck.
But he's not on the
I mean,
team. He's not on the
exactly.
team.
Yeah.
Can
He's
you
not
be
on
more
the team no more.
disappointed in
Yeah.
the guy that you were expecting to be an NFL
Yeah,
MVP
true.
and then retired 2 weeks before the season?
But he's not on the team.
Yeah.
It's not even a
But,
discussion.
but
Hey, wish
yeah.
the guy well. Let's move
Yeah.
on. We just talked
But
about
right
it,
now,
Coach.
like that's
You know what? For whatever reason today, his little it cropped up a little. He's a little salty about it today. I don't know why.
I don't know.
because
Probably because Andrew was back at the
Because he showed up at the
facility,
facility
picking up a
today,
sweater or
whatever.
something. I
taking
don't know.
taking pictures with
and
Jacoby.
he goes back in a little girl mode when.
Oh,
this
he's
happens.
hanging out with Mike Epps and living his best life, and I'm happy for him.
But Carvey, to tell you the truth, and I don't know his stats or anything like that. I just know what I see
Right.
and what's in my brain. But Rocky Seam, to me, is the bigger disappointment. Campbell, I can see it, but he has been dealing with a hamstring all the way through
Okay.
training camp. He's dealing with an injury now. But Rock, from what I seen him play during training camp, my expectations of him were ungodly high. And
Well,
So
I don't,
is it- go ahead.
I don't think he's had the opportunity. I don't think either player's had that many opportunities
No.
this year.
I said
So I think it's being a little rough on both of them.
because your expectation is so high. That's why you kind of disappointed in him.
definitely,
Okay.
yeah, it's my expectation.
See, because I mean, yes, I say Rocky saying he's been doing good, but not as you say. He's gonna be coming out there interception, blocking the ball. That's what you expect.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the Raider game. It was a blown coverage, and he got there late. Their tight end scored the touchdown. Yeah, or was it Atlanta Hooper? Maybe it was Hooper. But I mean, he got there right as Hooper caught the ball. But if that's your guy, if that's your spot,
that may be the difference between a rookie Rocky Sin and what we're going to see 2 or 3 years down the road.
That's
you can't. I don't think you can be too hard on a rookie.
I was about to say he's a rookie, so give him time to grow, and he'll learn from his mistakes.
And on top of it all, guys, a lot of people forgetting he may have been our first pick. He's a second rounder.
Yeah.
So he's going to take a minute.
I'm not saying I'm giving up my rookie card that he signed.
I'm
not jumping off the boat. But my expectations and the way I was watching him play during training camp and preseason, man, he's fast. He's a ball hawk. He's there. He was intercepting. And you just don't hear that right now during his play. And I get it. You're out there as a rookie. You might not be taking the extra chances.
Yeah, once he
like
gets on the
Deion
field,
Sanders did, Sherman does. You know what I'm saying?
Give him time.
I'm not saying that. But you asked the question, and to me, that is a little bit bigger disappointment because my expectations for his play were so high.
If we're going to talk about,
I said from the beginning that Parrish Campbell was going to be Luck's #1 target by the end of the year.
Well, if we're going to talk about
he's not there
disappointments, I think we should talk about people that we're surprised at too. Who's hopped out there and surprised you?
You know what? It's the backup running back, Hines. Naeem Hines, correct? Because he comes in and he's giving us good yardage when Marlon.
He's a spark.
Yeah, he's
change of pace back.
That's my surprise because when Marlon Mack comes off, and I don't expect him to get yards like that, and he get them yards or touchdown. So that's my.
He's a hard nosed. Yeah, he's a hard nosed back, and he's not that big, Edgerrin James strong back. He's just that small, scrawny, fast, but he's hard nosed. Yes. I'd love to watch him run the ball.
I be honest, I was iffy about our running core at first, beginning of the season, but now I like him too. I like the 1-2 punch.
My biggest surprise, Anthony Costanzo.
Well, he's playing lights out this year.
He is playing fabulous, and
he's had the one bad game against Oakland.
I was having a conversation with somebody about
it. I think everybody had a bad game against Oakland.
But I think with the way Quentin Nelson plays, how he elevates everybody else around him.
Well, especially Kelly and Costanzo being on the same side.
They don't. They know if they don't elevate their play, they're going to be left in the dust, and Nelson's going to shine like a shooting star.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think part of that, too, being on an offensive line, I think in past years before we had Nelson, I think whoever we had at left guard, whether it was Jack Mewhort or whoever it was, I think Costanzo, he may have been concerned about his guy and his assignment, but at the same time he's worried about, I better kind of watch this guy too.
Yeah.
Well, now he doesn't have that concern. When he has an assignment, he just has to go after his assignment because he knows the guy to his right is tearing it down.
Now, I'll mention they got Quentin Nelson, listed like 4th in the MVP running.
Man,
that's crazy.
Is
what
that
would
not?
I tell you? An offensive lineman
I'm
that's in the MVP run. An offensive lineman.
I don't think that's ever happened.
Shirt.
I don't think.
A jersey. That's what I want for Christmas. Is my Quentin Nelson jersey.
I want that. I want a run the damn ball hat.
Everybody's wanting to order those now.
Run the damn ball.
We should start selling them, man. We can make a small mint. We can sell them outside the stadium everywhere.
Well, we'll sell. They'll just be a little bit off, so there's no copyright infringement.
Exactly.
It'll be run with the damn ball.
Run the damn ball, damn it.
Speaking of running.
Spell DAM.
MMIT.
Speaking of running, I'll say at that game, the best run part I like when Marlon Mack got behind, who was it? Was it Smith, Brandon Smith, and you pushing him?
Yeah, that was fun. For the fourth down.
It was a fourth. Yes, that was, to me, that was one of the best runs right there.
Well, I tell you, overall, I mean, if you look at the game, oh man, the time of possession was, I mean, that was instrumental in what beat them, and that all got laid on the running game and the offensive line. And I tell you, to be able to hand the ball to Marlon Mack 29 times, I thought it was 1990 again. That was wonderful seeing that. To me, I've always loved the running game.
What's the average run to pass ratio in the NFL today?
I don't. Right
Well,
now.
I can tell you. It's like they pass the ball about 60% of the time, and it used to be the other way around.
But didn't I say last week that the Colts going to take some of the Detroit Lions playbook and emphasize what their playbook?
They needed to,
and
and
that's
it
what they
worked.
did, and see what happened.
Well, and I don't think every team in the league has the horses to be able to pull that off.
Right.
I know, obviously, the Colts did.
Because we have our defense core that's strong.
And
too.
everybody was so focused on Kansas City's offense versus our defense, they forgot about our offense versus their defense.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I know you didn't.
No, I sure didn't.
And when I did my Sunday pregame with Big P, I even made mention to what we was talking about on the show last Thursday about major key was running and establishing that run game.
Yes.
My God, it was a beautiful thing. Absolutely beautiful thing. I mean, I know a lot of people like Joseph Adai. I wasn't a big Adai fan. But right now, the way they're playing reminds me of back when we had a young Edgerrin James. We just we did whatever we wanted to do on offense, and it is a beautiful thing.
I honestly, I hate to compare this offense to the great offenses we had. Did we just go blank?
So professional here, yeah.
Sorry about that, everybody.
I got it now. Stay your ass in there.
Somebody's not doing their job.
So we just did something that the Colts didn't do all day. We dropped the ball.
Technical difficulty. We did. Mr. Tony did.
Oh, but speaking of drop the ball, the interception.
Which one?
When the dude Patrick Mahomes threw it at somebody and he popped the ball up. Do you agree with that call? They say it was an incomplete pass, or
Yes, it did hit the turf.
I believe his hands was cuffed.
He had it like this, but you could clearly see
It bounced up.
turf come
Probably
up.
watched it like 6 times.
Man, I didn't agree with that one. I kind of agree with you.
Now-
That was the intercept.
I didn't agree with the holding
PI?
or blocking
TY,
on
yeah.
TY. That
Yeah,
was
that was
That
There
was
were a
blatant.
couple of those shots.
New Orleans obvious that they didn't want us to win the game.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, and I said this to Kristen before it happened. When they challenged it, I was like, they're not going to win it.
No.
I don't know what the statistics are yet about
Oh, they're
The-
so lopsided. I know where you're going with that.
the winning the challenges on those, and some of them are blatantly like, oh my gosh,
I bet-
that is not a pass interference, or that is a pass interference, and they're just not.
I bet you it's
overturned.
not that way for Bill Cheetachet.
Well, I don't know the numbers.
Somebody
on it.
find me those stats. How many
You know what? That's
calls
good.
he gets overturned versus the rest of the league? I guarantee you they're flip flop for those yahoos. And I hope Dean Spears is watching.
Yeah, he
you
is.
know I'm
Yeah,
right.
he is.
You
Well,
know I'm right.
I know that Sunday we watched 3 games that day,
We did.
and we saw
that
3
all?
there was
There's only 3 that we can watch.
yeah, so there were 3.
Quit spending so much money at the hair salon and get you direct TVs, NFL's.
Have you seen his hair? Not spending money at a hair salon.
Wow,
Pretty damn good to me,
I know,
cuz.
doesn't it
fluffy.
look nice?
He says it's fluffy.
Such a gorgeous name.
there were 3.
Should we talk about the other manscaping you do?
Well, I mean, if you really want
I
to,
mean, we all are all free.
And on that note, goodbye, everybody.
we just Carvey's here in banjo music. He's about to run out.
Hell yeah.
she's a Dallas fan, so I've got a star.
Oh man, good lord. Help me, everybody. Help me.
Wow.
And with that, I respectfully resign.
Oh
Did you not hear about
I
this?
just peed myself a little.
His drunken purchase. I've never seen him do this. Never once. 4 years later, he's sitting on the couch one night, drunk off his gourd, and he sees a commercial. He's like, "That looks neat." And he gets up on his little phone, and he's like, "I just bought it." He comes in the mail like 4 days later. He's like, "When did I buy this?"
It was a manscaper. It was a lawnmower 2.0. Man, I tell you what, that thing's awesome.
Dear Lord.
Hey, reach out to them and see if they'll start advertising on the show.
Sponsor.
There you go.
If you need to be groomed, you go.
For all your manly man needs.
I got a
It works for me.
free
Before
ball
and after.
deodorant with it. It was awesome.
Ball deodorant.
It does. It comes with ball deodorant. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Wow.
Okay, ew.
Only if you don't use it.
Yeah.
Hey, when I was in the Army, I put some of their talcum powder down there. Next thing you know, I had gravy. That's the last time I ever used that stuff.
Yeah. I ate gravy for a while. Yeah. Thank you. That's got that image stuck in my head.
Right,
Sorry
so-
for everybody who got the image too.
Hey,
We apologize.
B's and G's, baby. Nothing wrong with it.
Sorry, but anyways,
Well, to change the subject.
yeah, because this.
Oh, they're complaining about us going sideways. guys.
Okay, so
It's
this
a fun
this week,
show,
this,
though.
this week's the Colts bye week. so
Jesus.
we're not going to preview a game going
It's
into
getting
next
hot
week.
in here.
Hey,
You're-
leave
are
your
you
damn clothes
hot?
on, bro.
You got some gravy going on.
If I had some powder down there, I'd be
Okay,
making some
wow.
gravy.
Well, I was going to say we're not previewing a game for the Colts. Let's talk about some trade rumors. Trade deadline's coming up October 29th
Right.
at 4 o'clock p.m. Set your calendars and your watches.
Tick tock,
Yeah.
tick tock.
So,
Are we getting OBJ or not?
oh,
What?
gosh,
I don't want him.
but I mean,
You serious?
No, I don't want him.
honestly, there's a rumor out there that he's been put on the trade block.
Are we
That-
going?
that-
Are the Colts going to pick him up though?
But no,
good
because I
Lord,
mean,
no.
we think about our wide receiver core. Even though yes, Funches is injured, Ty, but we still got players that want to prove themselves. That's if you
And
get
they're playing well.
Hey,
exactly. If you,
I want to go out and prove myself too.
I understand, but if you,
But I don't mean I'm going to run down the field, catch a damn ball, and get a touchdown.
I mean, I understand that, but you got to think about this right here. If you bring OBJ to the team, what's that telling me about my players? What that's me telling like
they're
I don't
young-
believe in you.
That they're young and experienced, and that we're ready to win.
But that's
now.
telling me I don't believe in you.
No,
so
it does not.
It's the next man up. So that like they saying, so you got to show us, like prove to us, you got to work for this spot, earn this spot. Not hey,
Okay.
come over here and you automatically number 2.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Right.
I'm not.
Right.
But in the meantime, while those young players are establishing themselves, how many losses do you take?
But he's a drama queen. I don't want him. I mean, he's good. I'm wrong. He's good, but I don't want him. I want to take him.
He hasn't been good so far
You
this
just
year.
don't like black
No,
people, do you?
Wow.
Just admit it.
He hasn't seemed to gel with Baker Mayfield very well.
Okay, to be fair, nobody is gelling with Baker Mayfield right now
Yeah.
at all. I mean, Baker Mayfield.
Hey, I
does
still
ball
like the
and-
guy.
I do too.
I still have a love fest going
Well,
on with Baker Mayfield
look
too.
at
I
look
called
at
it. They gonna be a bust, and what are they?
Well,
They are
I'm
a
looking
bust.
at it.
Disappointing.
I don't see the problem being Baker Mayfield.
I don't either.
I think the problem is, first of all, he doesn't have any protection.
No.
This is good. Yeah, that's valid.
Second of all, his offensive coordinator is pulling plays out of a hat.
That whole coaching staff needs to go.
It's
That
ridiculous.
right?
That whole coaching
And
staff needs to go.
especially
They've
after-
got I guarantee you, one of the premier teams in the NFL right now, and they are wasting
Talent-wise,
it.
they look good.
Also, I got.
They are wasting it.
All right. Speaking of coaching staff, right?
Well, you gotta.
Sorry,
Get
sorry.
so mean looking, man.
That's hot talk. Sorry. So
Look, I wish
say.
there was a camera back here showing those. Look at. Dude.
So okay. So say
Sit
if
next to the
Browns
coach.
did get rid of their coach, right? Would you go hire Gruden, little brother?
From
Jay Gruden,
Yeah, Jay Gruden. Would you go hire him as that?
not as a head coach.
yeah, because he really didn't do anything in Washington.
What Washington?
Well, I'll tell
It
you,
doesn't matter.
I don't think he had the team that he needed in Washington.
Yeah, that's what I said. He didn't. He
However, I do think Jay Gruden's a
But
good
look at
coordinator.
maybe this player or this player isn't as talented as this player, but they're at the NFL level. They are at the top tier. So whoever is on your team is talented. It takes that coach to bring it out.
But
He
sometimes
never could.
that coach may not work
He
with
never
this.
could.
That coach may not work with this core, but come over here, it may gel right.
Well, perfect example is Belichick with Cleveland.
Tony
and then-
Dungy and the Colts.
And then going to the Patriots. Pete Carroll with the Jets. Then
Yeah.
going to Seattle.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But
So,
what was the biggest flex in Cheetah Check going from Cleveland to New England?
Well,
He
think
got
that-
total control.
Yes, he did.
He got total control. He built that organization the way he wanted to.
Yes.
And he wasn't getting resisted by any GMs, any owners. It's him.
Yeah.
Same way with John Gruden in Oakland. He's got total control.
Well,
Although
he's
hired,
not the GM.
he's not the GM, but he hired the GM to take some duties off of him. But he's got control of that team
Really?
and the way it goes about.
I think
Really?
I got it. No, I
you
didn't.
no, he just want to smack you. He just want to touch you. He just touched one pretty face. That's it.
Wow, you just smacked me on camera.
You gonna call the
And
cops
I
on me?
totally missed it. Could you do it again? Can I get it in
No.
replay?
You'll have to go back and watch the pre-recorded video of this
I just
show.
got attacked by a gnat.
Thanks.
Kill
Thanks.
it? You
I have
got
been
it
on a
twice?
diet. I take that as a compliment.
So,
Okay.
okay, so you speaking also, who was the list on the people? Oh,
So I mean, I made a list of I've
Trade
got
rumors?
six players that are rumored to be traded before the deadline. And I think if you look at number one on the list, a lot of people have been talking about Jalen Ramsey. So I mean, it's pretty obvious why they want to trade him is because he wants to be traded. He doesn't want to be in Jacksonville anymore.
he don't like
one
those
reason or
guys.
so where do you think he's gonna go? Who's gonna? I mean,
where do you think he'd be a good fit?
Philly.
I like
Off the top of my head, Philly.
I think unfortunately, I can see somebody picking him up that we all can't stand.
I really don't believe he would be a good fit there, though.
I don't
I
either.
know who you're talking about.
But yeah,
I like your idea with Philly. I think he would look good in Philly. I think he would look good in Oakland.
Oakland probably.
I think he would look good in San Francisco.
I think he would get the
Ooh.
AB head in Oakland.
Put him
So,
Yeah.
If you
put him opposite Richard Sherman in
them
San
two would be
Francisco.
a
That
beast. That
would be
would be
interesting.
nasty right there.
That would be very, very interesting because Sherman's playing well this year.
Sherman, I love Sherman.
He's coming
I love
back.
Richard Sherman. I wish he came to
I'm
the
not a
Colts.
big Sherman fan.
I'm a Sherman fan.
I don't think he's a good fit for us.
And did you see what he said about Baker after that game? That he wouldn't shake his hand.
mean, just
and yet
disrespectful.
then
They
the
go-
following
they
day, I
show
think
the
it was
film.
Shannon Sharp was like, you know what, Sherman, I love you, but you're wrong.
Yeah,
and they
there's a
showed
picture of you
they showed
shaking
the
hands.
video of shaking hands. I'm like, what are you, an attention getter? Or are you 4 or what?
no, I think he forgot.
You beating on the
I
counter
think
just
he-
so mommy can whoop your ass? What? What is it you want?
The beat button.
Oh, we don't have no button in today's show. We're done past button.
But kids, if you're watching, this
With
is
the
perfect time.
manscaping and
Go to bed.
gravy and
All right. Oh,
Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah.
I've got wide receiver from Minnesota, Stephon Diggs.
now
Again, there were rumors, and these are all rumors, and it was about him not getting the ball enough because of the scheme that they have in Minnesota now, Kirk Cousins not being a capable quarterback. But what do you think about that, Carvey? You got something to say.
all right, because I mentioned this, said this to somebody, and then I saw it on Bleach Report. He would be a good fit with the Colts.
Now, I agree with that.
He would be a perfect fit. Now over.
Man, you just got done yelling at me,
OBJ?
giving our
Because
young
he's a drama
guys
queen. I don't want no
a
drama queen.
chance to prove
He's
themselves,
talking
and now
about
you're gonna
drama
bring in
queen.
Diggs.
and
He-
this,
he
guy,
don't-
this guy's requesting a trade because he's not.
No, I'm
getting
not
the ball
requesting.
enough.
I'm not requesting, but
No,
I'm just
Stephon
saying-
Diggs was.
Oh, he was. I mean, but
really?
Well, that
I
was the
thought he
rumor.
wanted the trade. He's like,
That was
he
the
heard the
rumor.
rumor and he's like, well, hell with y'all.
He called in sick.
Yeah, because he heard that rumor.
Yeah.
Now-
calling sick.
Now look, I'm going to upset some people.
You do every week. So.
I know.
What's new?
But one rumor that might be out there is Ebron being traded.
Yeah, I've read that too.
Now I've heard this, but really at this point, I don't know if the value's there.
Yeah, what? Yeah, he's
Because, I mean, so far the sample size, what you see is he's having a
very mediocre.
very mediocre year this year. And until he came to Indianapolis, it was 3 years of mediocrity there and inconsistency.
And he's in a contract year.
he's-
The Colts
yeah.
just picked up that, what, it was a 6'8" dude that was on,
Yeah.
you know, the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
My God, Mountain. I'm going to call him the Mountain.
Molly? No, not Molly. I forgot his name.
If somebody out there knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah. If y'all know, please.
Now, I don't think I don't
Kristen
think
was on top of the game.
I'm
She would
not at
she
all.
would
Well, I'm
research it
reading all
for
the
us.
comments.
She would research who we just picked up. Colts
I
new tight end,
believe-
practice squad, Google.
I believe that at this point the Colts still haven't given up on him. They've still got him as their
Yeah.
tight end number one.
The Colts ain't gonna trade nobody.
I thought he was number
I'm
two.
telling- I'm
I
telling you
thought-
right now.
I thought Doyle came back to number one.
Well,
Yeah.
he
Right now-
should be. He should be. The
Yeah.
way Doyle's played solid this year.
Doyle's
He's been reliable as always.
he's
just not
a
as
fly trap,
explosive.
man.
Yeah.
You know what? I like Ebron, and I think
I do
Colts-
too.
I don't think Coach gonna trade him because
His
you
name
know
is Ian Bunting.
Yes. How big is he? Like 12'3".
I think our
967 pounds.
tight end
Dude's a
core right
monster.
now, from our starters to our backups, we're good. We're
Doyle, Ebron,
Mo-
Mo Alley Cock.
good. And
You-
then
you-
what's the other guy that won from that we picked?
6'7", 255.
What's Hitchens?
Hale Henches.
Yeah, I like him too. So I said we're good on the tight
yeah,
ends.
he had a good preseason.
Yeah, we're good on the tight ends. We're good.
And we just picked up that big old dude.
Yeah,
But here's something else. Let's say somebody give us an offer on Ebron. What would it take in your eyes to walk him out? the door?
In my eyes, no less than a second round pick.
I'm going to need multiple second rounds in my eyes.
No less.
Me, I'm with coach a player and some multiple second round player picks because
I don't think he's worth it.
Yeah, but his value has diminished
Yeah.
tremendously this year.
If you had done it right after the Pro Bowl last year, you
Yeah,
probably
right
would-
after
you probably
last
would have got a
season
first
for
rounder
sure.
for him.
Yeah, you could have easily gotten a first round.
Maybe a first and a second or a fourth.
this is what I'm saying. Quote my words. After this break, watch Ebron. He's gonna go off and he's gonna be like
Good.
He's gonna come
Good,
back.
I want him to.
because Ebron.
I love Ebron.
Bro, I believe in you, Ebron. I believe in you, bro.
I do too.
Show out.
We're just talking about rumors.
I know,
And
I know.
I'm not trying to throw shade on my guy at
know,
all.
'cause when we met
you
him,
was with
yeah.
me. We met him. He's cool as an ice cube, man.
telling you.
Took my daughter and went and seen him. Got some pictures taken.
Yeah,
where else did I?
We
I
was
ran
interviewing
into
him
him
the other day,
again
he's like-
somewhere. He's a cool dude.
He remind me of my
A
cousin.
hell of a player last year. He's struggling this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
What it
everybody-
is, I don't know.
I mean,
I honestly, I think the Colts' offensive scheme has changed slightly. We got a different quarterback, so we got to play to this guy's strengths now. Mm-hmm. And it's all based on your quarterback. So a lot of people are talking about, oh, he just can't catch Jacoby's ball. No, that's not it.
Not at all.
The offensive system with Andrew Luck was a lot more vertical, and you can look it up on video. I don't know how many times I heard him say it. I love tight ends. I love tight ends. Because that's what he wanted to throw to. That's why we went and got two of them. Jacoby, if you look at
Whose phone
his
is going on?
you look at his passes, most of them are to wide receivers and running backs.
Well, Doyle's getting it quite a bit
and speaking,
from Jacoby.
and you know what?
Ebron's had his chances,
Yeah.
He has had opportunities.
so there's
a lot of
a
drops.
little shady there.
I mean, he just had a
Coach.
baby too. So I mean, he just had a baby too. So,
Well, then he should be catching things a lot easier.
but
Don't be dropping the baby.
Yeah.
speaking of Jacoby,
I think my mom dropped me on purpose.
few
Well,
times. You can tell.
She did say she used to use me as a doorstop.
Wow. But one thing that make me upset though,
Baby, right
and
there.
you're goofy.
It
What
was
people
a
were
good
saying.
breeze.
What
I was glad to do my
as
part.
people always talking trash talking Jacoby, because I remember you said something. Because
Now,
people,
I'm not trash talking him.
no, I'm not. I know you're
not.
not. It's just
okay.
it's like I've been seeing online. Colts fans, if you are out there, quit trashing on Jacoby. He is doing an excellent job. Okay, I know some of y'all want to see him fling the ball out like Andrew Luck and
I'll raise my
whatnot.
hand there. That dude's got a cannon.
But don't be wrong, he can do it. But he's smart.
It's not the system. Though.
It's
no,
not.
it's not the
So
system.
don't sit there and say,
I wish
"Oh,
it was,
he
though."
don't know how to throw."
Oh, God.
He's being smart. Time consuming. We want to keep the ball as much as we can. As you can see, when we played at Kansas City Chief, their time and our time comparison, which is what? Do you got that?
It was 37 minutes,
And to their time was,
23.
and look how we
I mean,
dominate them.
that's a whole
Look at
quarter
that.
of play that they
Essentially,
could
we
not get
kept,
on the field.
We kept Patrick Mahomes on the bench for a quarter of a
And
game.
you seen his face the whole time look like.
Now, did you probably know this a whole lot faster or better than I do? The defensive scheme. I've been crying about the cover 2, the Tampa 2, the zone all year long. They got away from it for a good part of the Kansas City game. Do you know
well,
what
hopefully they
what
stick
scheme
with
they
that.
was running?
Before it was.
I know they were running a 4-3, but I don't know what they're back.
We're still running a 4-3. If you look at most of the time, we're still running a version of the cover 2 at one point or another. You always look. It's hard to see it on TV. Every now and
That's
then
why
they'll
I'm
back it
asking
off.
you.
It's hard to see it on TV because you can't see the defensive backfield. But when they start off, I know a lot of times when they would show it from the end zone, you could see it. A lot of times they're going into a cover 2 shell. So that means they'll have their corners in the flats, which are 15 yards and
Right.
under, on the sidelines, like from the hash to the sidelines. And then they'll have their 2 safeties covering 15 yards to infinity
In center.
and half the field. Each one of them will have half the field.
Now, was they breaking off from that shell, going man to man once somebody came into their
I believe they was.
Their-
Well, and see,
their
that's,
perspective,
that's
areas?
that's where things change. When you play a zone defense, the first thing you always protect it either from outside in or inside out, and that usually depends on the situation, and that'll be up to the defensive back's discretion. So, like if you're at the end of a half, and the offense is trying to dink and dunk the ball down the field in the last 2 minutes, you're going to protect the sideline, so you'll go from outside in.
I thought they played
Right.
man, a little bit man coverage.
But, well,
Oh,
hear me
sorry.
out.
Sorry.
So I'm just talking about zone defense.
Sorry.
And that's what the safeties will do
You don't
too.
have
They'll
to
leave,
yell at Carter.
They'll
He's our friend.
They'll leave the middle of the field open, so you can catch the ball in the middle at that point. But a lot of times that will change up depending on the situation.
Right.
So, like, if you're playing over on one side of the field more, you may play outside. You know, if you're on the shallow side of the field, you'll play from the outside in. If you're on the deep side of the field, you'll play from the inside out. So, I think a lot of what's going on with the Colts, I think they were mixing it up more.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a
think,
damn good
Man,
thing.
that's a good thing to do.
A good
And you can
scheme.
invert your cover 2, so you can bring the safeties down to cover the flats and drop your corners deep. I saw them do that at least once. And they've got other versions of it where they'll roll the defense over and do like a cover 6 or a cover 9. But I don't want to get into a football lesson.
He will talk
All night.
for hours.
I know. What do you?
All right,
Why do you think I hired him?
I know we could go on and on and on.
But what I saw,
I hired Carvey for the pretty face.
what I saw out
See,
of
I
our
got to just sit
defense-
here and be me. I got the brains and the looks, and then me.
We were playing a lot of 2 deep with man coverage underneath.
I'm the trash. of
Look,
the
you
team?
know,
What?
we're having our own conversation while he's going on and on and on. Right?
yeah, I see. I'm listening. I'm listening. All right,
So we had
It's like Jake Arthur here again.
I'm
we
listening.
couldn't
I'm
get a
just-
word in.
So we were playing with our safeties over the top, man coverage underneath.
Hey, you
and
want
the
to go get a drink?
safeties-
And they
Let's
play,
go to the bowling alley.
and four down.
Play a
to-
game or two, come back. They still ain't shut up.
He'll be telling you how much he needs a nickel defense.
All right. Sorry, baby, we're just talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Wow.
speaking of our defensive line, our man Toure. Prayers goes
Well,
out
that's
to
a-
him.
that's
Man, that was
unfortunate.
nasty.
Yeah, the
That
prayer
was
goes out to
nasty.
him. You know,
Definitely prayers go out.
yes,
Yeah,
Speedy
that's
recovery.
disappointing because I
He-
was really looking forward to
yes.
him breaking out, and he was starting to show
Starting.
signs.
He
Yeah,
drove
What do you mean
all right.
starting? He did. Air bump.
See, like I said earlier before our show, I said like if he kept up what he was doing, like keep being explosive, yes, he'd been a Pro Bowler. He'd been a Pro Bowler, along with.
Well, I'm not gonna.
Now
make
with
any
Toure,
predictions
with
on
Toure hurt, another friend of the show was messaging me about that. Is that going to give Banatu some more playing time? And I said probably so, but also I can see them bringing Muhammad from the end in there because Muhammad is a big old boy, man.
Well, if you look at the way the Colts play their defensive line, I think they've only got a couple of guys that are like dedicated to playing one position. You know,
True.
where they only play inside or they only play outside. Everybody else seems to be pretty versatile. Like Tyquan Lewis, you'll see him inside and
Yep.
outside.
I like they play with Taekwondo.
Kyrie Willis, I mean,
Yeah.
he jumped in for a hooker, and I think he's done a fabulous
I
job.
like him. I like him as yes. Watch him.
He's done a fabulous job.
A little bit of Bob Sanders. A little bit. Right.
Well, he seems to be coming in. You're seeing flashes of him already, and we're 5 games into a career, and he's
But
every now and then you'll see him and just he's got something going on.
I don't like
There's a
Michigan
spark.
State, but I'm going to have to watch them. They're producing some people out there.
That kid gets a couple years under his belt if he stays healthy.
yes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's gonna
And
be what we wanted.
what's that one backup? Odom.
George
Odom.
Odom.
Yeah, he made a big play when
He filled in nice at safety.
yes, he made that nice big play when he forced a fumble.
Now, one name that hasn't been hardly said at all this year is Marcus Hunt.
Oh,
Where the hell's he been?
he's been disappointing. I think he's played himself so deep onto the rotation now. I don't think you're going to see much of him. He's not played consistently. He's not had the burst that he had last year. He's not
So-
batting down balls like he was. I don't know.
Do you
don't
think
know
he's
what the
probably get
difference is
traded?
there.
Do you think he may get
I
traded?
don't think you're going to trade him. I think at the end of the year, you're probably going to see him get cut.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Who?
Hunt.
Didn't they just?
They
Signed him?
they gave him a 3-year extension.
Yeah.
And
But I mean, we're talking about disappointments.
you
and
have to
whatnot.
perform.
As big as that dude is,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
if I said, if
you're
he-
not
if he-
really seeing or hearing him.
If he's
Now,
not working for us,
is he,
then
do,
work for
is he
another
doing his
team.
job? Is he plugging up the gaps? What he's supposed to do? Maybe they don't want him.
Well, yeah,
full pressure
maybe
QB.
they've
Maybe
changed
he's the
Their theory.
their scheme is to stop the run for sure. So I want you to hit hold.
I
How
mean,
many
if-
times
if-
have you ran?
well, if you look at the scheme that they had last year, and I don't even want to talk about the scheme that they've had this year because I really don't feel like it's been as effective
Not at all.
until this week.
This week.
But last year, if you look at the scheme that they had, they were looking for penetration with the defensive tackles.
Mm-hmm.
So what they were doing was trying to get them upfield, and that would keep any runs that were going side to side. It would blow all that up. You would blow up traps. You would blow up counters, and you would put pressure on the quarterback right at the middle, which is where the quarterback doesn't want it. I mean, if quarterback wants to, if you're going to give pressure, the quarterback wants it to come from one side or the other so they can escape.
Okay, but we're doing it quite effectively on people where it's that hesitation, then hand it off. Because we're getting those D linemen pressuring so hard, and the running back don't even have the ball yet. And by the time he does get it, they're helping create the hole.
Well, what we're running in our running game, if you look at it, we've got guards that pull really well.
Yes.
Glowinski and
I'm talking-
Nelson. Good.
I'm
Lord.
talking about everybody else, and maybe that's why we haven't heard Hunt's name, because they're like, okay, well, we're going to stop the run, but you can't do it when you're pushing so much pressure. You
That's
get
possible.
the running back
There are
blows
ways-
back, but
there are
if
ways
you,
to strategize to go
it-
around it.
If you hit and hold, you're plugging up those gaps.
Yeah.
Just a thought. I don't know. I haven't talked to the coach yet, and I got a meeting set up. I'm just saying, maybe that's why. I don't know, but he's a big boy. He can definitely push people around. He can disrupt some stuff, but you just haven't seen or heard of it
Not really.
this year.
All right. So here's my question: what grade do you give the Colts so far? Right now,
As in total,
overall
but
grade.
total grade on total team, I would say a B to B plus.
Okay.
And see, it's a little bit higher than what I give. I mean, if you look, if you look at their record, they're 3-2. We're what, tied for the lead in the division with
Tied.
Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So
Big game coming up.
I was going to say C plus, B minus.
I'll give him a flat B.
And that's
flat B.
and that's just based on the fact that I feel like we could, if we had played the way we should have, we could be 5-0 at this point.
We really could.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
But definitely
Take-
be 4-1.
Yes.
the Chargers game, we should have won that.
We should have won.
We
that one.
should have won that. We screwed it up and gave it to them. The Oakland game, we did not deserve that win.
We stepped out the front
played
door
like
and
shit
walked right into a mud
all the way
puddle
around the
and
ball.
never-
All
yeah.
three phases was just a horrible
Garbage.
game. You don't get ones like that. So I will say 4-1.
Watched a
Now,
couple other absolutely terrible football games this weekend as well.
you starting tonight?
Oh.
Yes.
Well, hopefully, no, last weekend.
Tonight's
I
gonna
don't
be
know
a
if y'all watched that
shutdown.
Browns game, but the Browns are playing like a bunch of toddlers. I mean, it was just embarrassing to watch. Just football in general that day did not happen on that field.
So so since we're just talking about trades, do you think any trades going to happen over there in Browns?
Well, there's a lot of rumors surrounding the Browns, so I wouldn't be shocked with anything. There's a rumor that Trent Williams, left offensive tackle for the Washington Redskins, he's a stud. He's been a cornerstone of that offensive line for a few years now. There's possibility that he may be going to the Browns or the 49ers. They've both been talking about him. Also, there was I want to say there was a rumor possibly Kenyon Drake from Miami. As if you needed to load up that backfield.
They don't need all the. Shut up, Carl.
Because they've already got Nick Chubb and then Kareem Hunt's coming back in
4 more games?
yeah, three
Something like that?
three more.
Three?
3 more, yeah.
Who got Cream Hunt in the league? You do.
Yeah. She's sitting on that one. That one's gonna be good in the playoffs.
Trade.
No.
You're not gonna make any
I don't
trades
even
with
have
this
a backup
one.
running back for this week's game. My running back's got a bye week, so I'm sitting on no running backs this week at all. 'Cause we have
I got a
Gonzalez
couple.
injured.
I'll say.
He's trying to get
He's
get
trying to
Tyreek
trade
Hill.
half his team.
Yeah, he's trying to get me Tyreek. I was like, you're not getting Tyreek Hill. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
I saw you. You're trying to
Yeah.
sabotage me. Making trades
All right,
with
all right.
Jason.
Well, you
Back
two
on
are
track, guys.
teaming up on me.
Hey, 7:30. We haven't paid some bills yet.
Yeah, we need to pay some bills.
Well, you turn on the damn AC and I will.
Are you?
Because I got sweat the size of horse turds running
Oh,
down.
here it goes.
Oh no.
Speaking of sweat,
And then he touches my butt when he says that.
I did not.
He did.
Oh. Don't make accusations you can't handle, lady.
I was sexually harassed.
By your man.
Talk to the HR
It wasn't
department.
sexually, it was sensually.
But on the Bills, no. Paying the bills.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I follow.
No, you opened it up. You
No,
do.
y'all said it. Don't go. Y'all the expertise.
Anyways,
So,
you
hey, is it
guys
getting
know.
hot in here?
You guys know our title sponsor is Preferred Mechanical Heating and Cooling. Did you guys ever call them out?
Yeah, they
Did
didn't
you?
show up, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
they
we didn't
did.
want to talk about that.
Hey, we're paying bills here. We're not.
yeah, we didn't
Yeah,
want
they
to
came
trying to
over.
get
They did
fired.
an excellent job. Yes.
Yeah, it was great.
Yes,
The
it was.
problem got itself fixed.
But anyways, I've used them for years. I know Greg personally. I know a lot of their service techs. And one thing that other companies will do, when they come out, they will write up a big estimate and say, oh, yeah, it's just cheaper to buy a new system. No, it's not. They make commission. Greg's guys don't get paid on commission, so they're not going to tell you need a new system when you just need a new board or you need a new fuse or something. They're going to give you an honest, what's that thing they do when they look things
Estimate.
up? Estimate. Or
There you go.
no, not an estimate.
Quote?
Not a quote. Where they look at your stuff and tell you what's wrong with it.
Diagnosis?
Yeah, an honest
Ooh.
system diagnosis of what's wrong and how much it's going to cost to get fixed. So, I promise you, you will love their service. You'll love their prices. Call our friends at Preferred Mechanical, Heating and Cooling. Mention this show.
D-line.
D-line what?
Sports.
Love that. Mention the show and you get 10% off of your bill. Residential only, not applicable to commercial. And if you do it now, you get entered into a drawing to go to the Jacksonville game with me on the 50-yard line.
And right now, if you enter, you would have a pretty good chance of winning those tickets.
Why?
No entries yet, has there?
There are.
Are you running invoices for these guys? Do you
No, well, as far as I know, there haven't been any entries.
My God, man.
If
What?
not, I'll
Then
take
he's
it.
going to kick us out of here if we're not doing our jobs. We got to
You're
bring
scaring me now, Pat.
So everybody,
bring people
please,
to it.
please,
They're saying
if you
we
have,
ain't.
if you're hot, you're cold, you need your AC fixed, please call this number. Area code 317-924-4042.
Oh.
And please mention D-Line Sports. They will take care of you, I guarantee.
Carvey.
Damn, he's good.
He just,
He's good.
he just went all urban on us. That was awesome.
You good.
Yeah, I
Hey,
will take it.
I'm putting you in for a pay raise.
I need pay rate. Oh,
But
yeah.
anyways, yes, give them a call. Don't get caught out in the cold.
We just got a shout out from Danny.
Uh-huh.
She said, thank you for supporting the Smile Stroll.
Yay, Danny. Hey,
Yes.
you got to call us, let us know how that went. Did you reach your financial goals you
Yes.
was after?
They said they raised over $5,000.
Yes.
Woo.
So next time we just come back in and just talk about it, you know, if you can.
All right, good job, Danny.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Good job. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What other bills we got to pay? Is that our only time? I'm working on another sponsor.
Keep working on it.
I'm working on it.
Keep working.
I didn't get it.
I thought you just clapping like, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yay.
No, it's trying to qualify
Hercules,
us.
Hercules.
Oh, she said, I was about to say that.
Well,
Oprah.
I think we probably need to be wrapping this thing up
Yeah,
so
my
people
blood.
get to
All right,
that.
this has been a
so
fun show.
They can get to that awesome game that's going to be on.
Nobody's watching that
So,
game tonight.
so I got a question.
I'm watching that.
What?
Sorry, one person's watching the game tonight.
No,
There'll be
because
two.
he lives with me.
He's going to be playing Fortnite.
No.
Hey, speaking of Fortnite,
Oh God.
Tony, I probably ought to bring him in and explain some more. But anyways, you know he's a gamer.
Yeah.
He is building his own team, a competition team. So if you're a serious gamer, you're good,
And Fortnite.
especially Apex, reach out to me. I'll get you in touch with Tony, and he'll give you a tryout. But he's building his own team to go compete in these $1 million tournaments and crap.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's already
Awesome. That's
he's,
fantastic.
he's already got his pro level card, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
I'll join
So
it.
if you
I'll
are, or your
stop by for a tryout
child,
and get laughed
or your
at.
child is really good, hey, hit us up and build the team with Tony.
Yeah.
There you go.
And speaking of squads,
Oh, there it is.
Squats?
Knew we had to bring
squad.
it up.
Yes,
Squats?
you know, squad, like squad,
Oh, squad.
squads.
I
put
thought he
S on
said
it.
squats.
Squad.
I ain't
If any
squatting.
women are out there 18 and up,
You are married, stop it right now.
any woman that's 18 and up that's interested in playing women's tackle football, please get a hold of me or look at Columbus Vanguards. We are having our tryouts this Saturday at 5550 South 50 West, Columbus, Indiana. The time will be from tryouts is 3 to 5.
If I identify as a female, can I try out?
If you was identified, yes.
You,
If
ha-
I-
you have to
To
wear,
be, you know, to
you
be
have to
funny.
wear a great-
Well, not to be funny.
If I identify myself as a woman,
There
can I
there
try
is someone who's identified as a woman on a team, not on our team, but in Minnesota that's like 7'2", QB. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
All
I'm
right.
not going to
You
get
wanna go
into
play?
it.
Not
but
that
they, but yes.
Those girls would probably knock me silly.
But no, seriously, if you are really, really interested, if you know any women that loves football, that likes to tackle anything, please just give us a shot. Come check us out, Columbus Vanguards. We are open to anybody. If you want to travel,
Even if you identify yourself.
I mean, it's a good way. Heck, you could like say you want to lose
Like, it's a
weight.
professional team.
I'm not trying to say you're big and everything, but if you want to lose weight, get exercise in, travel, meet new people, and be part of something that's growing, that's big, please check us out, Columbus Vanguards on Facebook.
So for like all of the men like you that couldn't get any farther than high school football.
I could have, but my duty to my country called, and I answered it.
See,
Uh-huh.
he had a duty.
A duty.
The duty.
All right, okay. With that, we have
But-
woo.
Wasn't it you that posted that article about that girl runner suing somebody because a male runner identified himself as a female?
Oh God, yes. It
You
was
posted that.
Well, it was no, it wasn't that. So it's actual female runner, but you know how you have the blood tests and all that for drugs and shit. She had the same estrogen levels as a man, or testosterone levels as a man.
See,
so
I
she
thought it was-
disqualified.
I thought it was a man that
No,
was.
she was a woman.
She was a woman
Was
she?
who
Was
was,
just
breaking all
really-
kinds of women's records, but
really-
her body produced an
But
absurd amount of testosterone.
she was born a woman. Yeah.
And so she got disqualified for it, which is
Now, if she was a
bullshit.
woman,
Beep.
yeah, you can't do nothing about it. But I'm talking a man saying that I'm a woman. I'm Caitlyn Jenner. I'm going to be on the women's track team now. That to me is wrong.
Well,
not that
you're
they
talking about-
that want to be that they want to be a
Well, you know,
woman.
if
I'm
we
not.
get to
I don't
the
care
point that
what
it's
they want.
Integrated, then it's just going to be flat out integrated and end of discussion. We're not going to have men's track and women's track and men's shit and this shit. We're just going to have everybody's shit.
Beep, beep,
That's
beep,
a
beep,
lot of
beep,
shit.
beep,
That's a
beep.
lot of shit.
Beep.
Wow.
I'm going out of breath, beep.
And this thing isn't even after 10 o'clock. I love it.
Sorry, kids, if you are watching.
All right.
AJ, I'm sorry. Hi, kids. B, take your medicine, go to bed. I love you,
Wow,
kids.
It's only 7:30. You send your kids to bed that early?
Yes.
You're a terrible father.
8 o'clock,
Run
they
the
go to bed.
Gestapo or
I'm
what?
You want to have my 4
7:30,
kids?
dude. The sun ain't even down.
We have seriously derailed. Let's go ahead and call it a night.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's
All
do
right.
our final thoughts.
Kristen, final
I
thoughts.
gotta pee.
Always.
Always
Always.
normal.
Yeah.
Garvey.
Everybody, take care of yourself. Love each one another because you never know when's your last time here on earth. So,
Oh, boy.
you know, everybody, just more love, less hate.
Coach.
My final thoughts go out to a couple of families down in the Johnson County area.
That's down my way.
We had a couple of kids that play for Indian Creek High School, play football for them. Owen Seago and Andrew Witten, who have lost parents in the last couple of weeks. It's incredible tragedy. If you've been looking at our Facebook page, you might have seen a story pop up for it. But I put my prayers out to them, and it's kind of weighed heavy on my heart a little bit. And I hope everything's going well for them, and I hope they can get through it.
Awesome. Let's put something together for them.
I'd like to do that.
Hey, reach out to them, see if they want to come on the show.
I tell you what, if anybody that is involved with watching the show, if you have any kind of way for me to be able to contact the Seago or Witten families there at Indian Creek, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could contact me.
Yeah, they might not want to be on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they may not.
Hey,
I'm
that dude's
right-
talking about gravy, and that dude's talking about manscaping, and that dude's talking about women football. What kind of show are you running here?
Now, I mean, Indian Creek is right down the street from me because I live in Columbus.
Yeah,
but
we're not. They're
Where
not
he went
far.
to high school.
Oh, you went to high school? Okay. So Frogger. Okay.
Raggle fart.
Yeah, old Raggle
They got
Fart.
something in their water.
At Engine Ditch.
Yeah,
Tipping cows.
Let's work on that.
I'd like
But-
to do that.
My final thoughts are there's two.
Okay.
I made a post about a gentleman I met over the weekend that has a foundation called Twisted Foundation.
Mhm.
And it's a bunch of car enthusiasts, mechanics, car guys. They go around and do all the car shows and things like that. Well, they started a foundation called Twisted Foundation. And their whole point is to raise money for Toys for Tots for kids during Christmas. And then they do another one for back-to-school backpacks and supplies and all that for kids. Super, super nice guy. And I shared a little bit of that. I'm going to be meeting with him next week, see how we can help them out a little bit more. So everybody stay posted or on the ready. And when, because who don't want kids to have toys at Christmas time?
Right.
Yeah.
And if we can help out, I would love for us to be able to help out. And then on my other thought is with Danny checking in with us, talking about what they did and everything. Most of the work and credit goes to Danny because she puts her heart and soul into this organization. But a lot of credit goes to you guys for bringing it in, getting more notoriety to it. A lot of you guys donated money to the cause, things like that. As we shared her stuff, I was watching those numbers go up on that donation page, and that's a lot of you guys. So my final thoughts are a giant salute to y'all for helping out any way that you can. Just, you know what? This is a big world, but it's a lot smaller than what you think.
True.
And we're all in this thing together regardless.
Yeah.
So I want to just give everybody a big round of applause for everything that you do to help your communities, to help your fellow man, help your fellow woman. That's an awesome thing. That makes what society is supposed to be like, in my opinion. And on that note, you guys be good to each other. No drinking and driving. Call a what?
An Uber.
They're gonna They're gonna have to sponsor
Something.
the show.
Call Pat.
Hey, you know what? If it comes down to it, do it. I'd rather you call me for a ride than call me to your funeral.
True.
Or to bail you out of jail.
Well, I ain't
It's
gonna
cheaper.
bail you out of jail.
Yeah.
If you in jail,
I ain't answering no jail calls.
on
You
that
guys be
note,
good to each other. No drinking and driving. And as always, go
Go
Colts.
go what?
Colts.
Oh, he said Rogues.
Cowboys.
What are
Who?
you talking about?
Go Colts.
Tony, we're done.
That was a good show.
Shut it down.
That was a good show. That was fun. So y'all talk about man cave and all that other shit. Y'all lost me. Y'all lost. I was like, oh hell no. It's time for me to go. Everybody say, oh, this show went to left field.
It
Oh,
sure
yeah, like,
always
whoa.
goes that way.
Everybody's